Today guys, we have another PSA returns video. I share a small submission that I received in December 2023. I sent 10 cards in this sub, including a few Sword and Shield alt arts and the EB Games Australian exclusive Umbreon. Let's get into it. First up, we have the Radiant Charizard from Pokemon Go and a PSA 10. This one was currently somewhere in the 7,000 range of PSA 10, so there's 7,000 and something of these graded, which is pretty crazy. The card itself, super clean. These actually currently go for somewhere in like the $80 to $100. That's AED range, so they're pretty expensive in comparison to the Radiant Charizard that came out in Crown Zenith, which seems to be going for around $50 to $70, give or take, on eBay at the moment. Next up is the Gold Star Umbreon from Celebrations, one of my favorite cards from Celebrations. I was unlucky to get this in a 9. Not super clear why it was a 9, potentially somewhere with the surface. It looks, it had really nice centering, no whitening on the corners and stuff like that, so it looked good to me. Classic thing about the Gold Stars is the gold star next to the name of the Pokemon, and all of these were illustrated by Fukuda, all of the Gold Stars, the original ones, which is that is based on the original. Next up, I got the NTB from Crown Zenith. This was probably one of my least favorite of the three legendary dogs I actually brought out in Crown Zenith, but it's actually grown on me recently, so I like that one. I'm probably going to keep that one because I think I'm going to try to do the whole Galarian Gallery in PSA 10. So there's another graded goal that is probably going to be on the list. Next up, we've got some alt art. So I've got the Duraludon V from Evolving Skies. So this is illustrated by Naoki Saito. Actually the same illustrator of the newest World Championship participation cards, the Paradise Resort card, which has the Pikachu, the 3 starters, and Psyduck. I think Saito also illustrated a few other alt arts in Sword and Shield. I think the Mew V in Fusion Strike, the one where it's got a few other cards, that probably can't explain, but a few other Pokemon. Can't think of the card number. I'll have to look that up. And next up is the Golurk V. Now, I got this back, PSA 6. This thing is the cleanest 6 you'll ever see. However, I never saw it at the time, but in the scan it's really clear to see. But there's a little dot just above the HP symbol on the border, and you might see it just over here. Just in the lighting right, you can see that there. That's probably why it got a PSA 6, because they're pretty harsh on like dinting or dents in the cards. So I think that's why the Golurk got a 6. But I think this is like Pop 19 PSA 6. So it's 19 of these in PSA 6, which is funny. Next one's Medicham, which actually has a really cool art. It's got plenty of Pokemon. It's got a Cloyster up there. What else? What's that one? Jumpluff. It's got the Center Scorch. It's got a heap of Pokemon jumping around. So that's another Evolving Skies alt art that I've got. I think the pop of these is around 800, so far below the Charizard, which is, 7,000. This thing's only 800 pops. This is actually rarer to get in a PSA 10. And then you compare this again to some of the other alt arts from Evolving Skies, like the Rayquaza VMAX, which I think is in the range of like 6,000. And the Umbreon VMAX, I think last time I checked was in like 9,000 range. And yeah, I'm sure that'll get over 10K sometime in 2024. I've got Lilligant from Astral Radiance. Now, this is actually a card I purchased from Lunchbox Lock. So, Lunchy, if you're watching this, thank you for selling me this card. I think I got it from him for about $20, which is somewhere that was about the market range at the time. So, yeah, it was a really, really good price. Imagine like picking one of these up for $20, one of the hardest cards to hit in the set, or one of the rarer cards to hit in the set, and you can get them for $20. It's pretty crazy, especially when it's the less popular Pokemon. You can get them a lot cheaper. So thanks, Lunchy. And then last came off the rank is the EB Games exclusive Umbreon. So this is kind of what the thumbnail's all about, is the EB Games promos that you can pick up if you purchase $20 a product. That's Australian dollars in store, and you can get the promo. So unfortunately I sent 2 and only one got the PSA 10, and at the time of sending that in, mine was like the second one graded PSA 10, so that was pretty cool. If you've been following me for a while, you would know that I actually was the first one to grade the Dragonite EB Games promo, and I've got that here as well. So this is like the first Dragonite EB Games promo to be graded like across the board, at least by PSA anyway. So it was pretty cool to grade something like first ever. So there's the Umbreon and the Dragonite next to each other. The other thing about these is like typically they're a bit harder to grade promos just in general, because you've got like stuff like this where you can get like a 50% plus PSA 10 rate. Some of these other ones are quite low. I think the Dragonite is currently PSA 10. There's about 83 in PSA 10. And then I think that puts it somewhere in the range of like less than 50% PSA 10 rate. So yeah, generally it's a bit harder to grade. Some of the other ones that I want to try to get, which are more recent, are like the Lechonk, which I did send some of those and they got PSA 9. The Zoroark, which came with Lost Origin. I think there's only been like 5 total of those graded so far. So obviously no one sent those, but they all sent Dragonites. And there was 2 PSA 10s for the Zoroark. And then the Typhlosion from Astral Radiance, which must be the, what's the Hisuian? Yeah, the Hisuian Typhlosion from Astral Radiance. I'm pretty sure no one's graded those in the PSA 10 yet. So I want to go back, get all those EB Games promos, and then possibly go back further and get some of the other ones, some of the harder to get ones. I know there's off the top of my head, Sanaconda. There's a Jangmo, which is like pop 1 at the moment. Yeah. Anyway, enough rambling, but this is my last sub of 2023. I did actually have a 10th card, which was a Venusaur, but I've already sold that, and this is what I have left. So thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.